Hello, I'm Fiona Burnett and thanks for watching this crop update for the Farm Advisory Service. And really quite a lot has changed since the last update we did. So in January we were looking at very wet soils and potentially a later start to the 2023 season. We've had a very dry February now and the first reports of spring barley drills moving at the very end of February there. And that is early for Scotland, so soils will still be cold and some soils, the heavier ones, are still relatively wet. So just a few sort of key messages there for the spring barley. It's really key that you test seed or know its health status so that you know that you're drilling seed that will emerge. Soils can still be quite cold, below the sort of 10 degrees that we're looking for good emergence. So testing seed lets you pick a seed treatment that's appropriate to the disease risks that you identify, and it will manage things like Microdochium fusarium, which can reduce emergence and lead to seedling blights. And again, that's linked to cold, wet soils. The colder it is, the longer the seed will take to emerge and the greater the risk. In terms of our winter crops, they're still looking really well. They came through the winter looking good. But that faint fond hope that the cold spell in December would have knocked disease in its head is beginning to fade. So we have reports of yellow rust in winter wheat around Fife, again those coastal regions where it often appears first, and actually close to here at Bush and Midlothian as well. And I always think yellow rust is quite a good barometer of plant health. It's rapidly cycling, so it's usually an indicator that actually other diseases are ticking away too. And indeed, we're seeing more septoria than we've seen for a couple of seasons at this timing. In the winter barleys, again, we're getting reports of rhynchosporium and net blotch. So again, just slightly higher levels of disease than we've seen for a few seasons. And all that begins to point to probably a greater need for T0 treatments, so these treatments that are inserted before your main T1 timing. And for the winter wheats, we're looking to try and use something slightly different to what you would deploy at T1. So predominantly yellow rust is your driver of a T0 spray in winter wheat, and we'd be looking at an azole, probably with a strobilurin, and then trying to do something slightly different at the T1 timing. Same principle for the winter barley. If you can try and insert something different, a disease like rhynchosporium can be really tricky to manage if it's well established. So managing it with a T0 spray can be sensible and just gives you a bit of flexibility with what you do at the important T1 timing. So again, try and pick different chemistry. You could try something like kayak, which is a different mode of action to which you would use later. And again, maybe mix that with a strobilurin and try and, just clear up that early disease.